everyone. I'm going to be explaining today the difference between a diet and a fast. And as being an athlete and being a woman in this time, there is a lot of weight, pun intended, put on women's appearances. And I understand what it's like in this society that we think sometimes even the word fast is used in intermittent fasting or fasted cardio. Those are words that are actually put into what is now about bodies or exercise or diets per se. But I do just want to clear up what could be to other people some muddy water about the difference between a diet and a fast. So I just have these little differences between a diet and a fast. A diet is typically results driven, and a fast should be presence driven, the presence of God being the priority driven. A diet is for physical health or physical maintenance, how you want to say that, and a fast should be for spiritual health, and it should be spiritual health focused. A diet tends to be an individual thing because it affects you and it affects your body and how you're controlling your own eating or not eating, depending on whatever your diet you're doing. But a fast does include someone else, and we get to include God in that as well. It's not just alone, and it's not something that we just do to see a physical difference. And a lot of times a diet can be majority of the time, unless there's a trainer involved or a doctor, whatever that looks like. But it tends to be very selfish driven because you do recognize yourself, you're very focused on your numbers, you're very focused on your calories and whatever that looks like. And a fast in its intended form should be very selfless driven. It's the dying to your flesh and seeking the presence of God. It doesn't mean that because I'm going to do the Danielle's fast or the only water fast, whatever those be, use your mental extremes. It shouldn't be focused on how your body will look at the end of this. Also, there is, it says in the Bible not to proclaim your fast, I guess you should say, is the only way I can think to put it right now. But a lot of times when people are on a diet, they start out a sentence, I'm keto, I can't eat that. On a fast, you shouldn't say, I'm only doing the Daniel's fast, I can only have fruits and veggies. Those are between you and God, and that's why it involves more than just yourself. So a lot of times they do have a lot of the same disciplines that mirror each other. And there are even, I've thought about this, when people refer to a diet, they say, it's a lifestyle, it's not a diet. And I understand that, and someone could even use that same argument against a fast. I include God in my daily life, I pray, I take out things, but a fast is also a recognition of something that's maybe been filling the space of God, or you've been having just as a space filler of His presence. It's not a spot where we say, I need this answer from God, so I'm going to fast this, and I'm going to get His answer the day after it's done. That is not why we do it. This is why we seek His face and we seek His presence of God. We die to ourselves daily. This is the physical reminder of, I'm picking up my cross and I'm laying it down at His cross, and I'm going to put my face in front of His. And that's when we take away the earthly pleasures or whatever it be, something that's been a comfort that can take the place of God. And I also want to encourage people, myself included. I do listen to a lot of podcasts. I do listen to a lot of sermons or music or those things, but never let that replace the presence of God. It can be an additive too. So if you have been putting those things in and you think it's going to be building up the bucket that should be filled up with the presence of God, I would like for you to remove those and actually take the time to fill up your presence of God bucket. That's an interesting way to put it. But those are just some delineations between diets and fast. And I would encourage you as well, really include God in it, because we have the diet as an individual focus and we have fasting as a you and God focus. It's not just yourself. If there are some physical benefits at the end, that's not the intended purpose. That is not your intended purpose of a fast. The intended purpose is to be with God. So I encourage you today, if you have questions in your heart, kind of pray through them. If you're doing something with ill intentions, you probably shouldn't do it. Rethink it and pray through it and fast with God. Have a good day.